So here is what I'm thinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dating shows on TV.
Oh, oh boy.
Can that be considered some weird sort of like non-monogamy thing that eventually like transitions into monogamy? Because like you have these people, there you have this one person that's dating like 50 million people before they end up picking one person. I mean, is this just dating, or can we say that it is some sort of polyamorous, non-monogamous shumafirma? Yes, that's
Sure.
a legal word, shumafirma.
Okay, we have our first
Um,
new term of the episode. Write that one
because
down.
how can you expect someone to go from dating 30 people? I mean, of course, the dates are not all one on one, whatever, fine. From 30 people to like just picking one person to marry at the end of this thing in like 4 weeks. Or I know it's longer than that,
Yeah.
but
So it's
I think maximum is like, I think 6 weeks, I think is how long filming takes for most of these things.
6 weeks and they go through all
It's
of that?
so freaking short. Exactly. So
Wow.
I'm just trying to figure out like how this is possible and how is this more socially acceptable to go on a freaking reality dating show to be one of these weird chicks trying to date a even weirder dude than having a non-monogamous relationship in public.
So you're gonna force me to do something I've never wanted to do, and that
Yeah.
is think about reality TV.
I know. I
But
know.
for you, I'll do it.
Oh, thanks, babe. I love
Mm.
it.
Uh, Here we go.
I'm Jen.
I'm Sham, and
And
we're
we're
monogamish.
monogamish. Closer.
Eh,
Closer together.
not
Oh.
even.
Okay, so yes, now you're thinking about reality TV. I know what you're thinking. There's not any like polyamorous reality TV shows, and we all know that's a lie. Because
Yeah.
everyone freaking loves Sister Wives, and we're going to talk about that later.
Oh
I
boy.
want to keep talking about regular reality dating shows. So that's what I want to talk about first.
Hmm.
Because it's kind of like it's like you're dating all these people, you're having people build, you're having this one person. So
Yeah.
say that, you're the bachelor. We're going to use the bachelor as my example, right?
Hmm.
You're the bachelor. And
Oh
so
God, what has gone wrong in my life?
you
Sorry,
have
sorry.
to whittle down from like 30, I think it's like 30 or 32 women
Hmm.
down to one in the short period of time. So you have to be building relationships with these people, with multiple people.
Yeah,
And that's kind of like non-monogamy. I mean, everyone's kind of agreed to it. They're all
exactly.
there
They are
knowing that he's dating
consenting
other
to,
people. They're
yeah,
consenting to this, right? Everyone knows that you're there to date all these people. Even though you're eventually picking one, there is a period of time where this person is dating, kissing, possibly even fucking
which I
all
still
of
can't
these
believe.
women.
Yeah,
Well, no, I can't remember who was it. I think that Juan Pablo. I know this means nothing to you, but I just want to talk about this. Juan
it's fine.
Pablo is like one of the most hated bachelors in recent history,
It
whatever.
already sounds like a villain, but go on.
I mean, he is Latino, like he was from South America or something. He didn't speak a lot of English, but he was very like spoony. I don't know. I think the girls like kind of fell all over themselves for him. I think he had sex with a bunch of the girls.
Oh,
I'm not sure I'm right, but I believe that he had sex with more than one of them. And that is still kind of a weird thing in The Bachelor because I mean, when you get to fantasy suites, which is like the last three or four people, that's usually when people expect some kind of intimate encounters to maybe happen, but
but
it
he was just
quote
fucking him off
unquote
right off
doesn't
the bat.
always happen. I guess. I don't know. I mean, like, I didn't watch that season. That's not when I started watching The
Oh,
Bachelor.
no, okay.
Thank God.
Mm,
But it's just there's a lot of weird stuff, right? So it's like, so yeah, but I mean, it's like typical dating. It's like dating in the outside world where you'll be dating multiple people and you'll be having sex with multiple people. But I don't know. It's like, how can you expect it to be real? Like they talk about like, the entire experience and you're feeling like really isolated and it's like a little bubble.
yeah.
But does that mean that in the real world you would never date 30 people at once and then pick one person at the end? I don't know. I don't know. What do
Even
you
as a
think?
non-monogamous man, I can't see myself dating 30 people at once.
Well, no, I think on night one they send home at least five of them. So it doesn't
How
really
many?
count, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, there is a point, like especially when it gets closer to the end, where you're spending one-on-one time, or like two-on-one time, or three-on-one time with
Mm.
like 8 to 10 girls, and that's when like the things start getting crazy. I mean, you go to hometowns. I forget how many hometowns I go to. Is it like
Or like you
oh,
visit the family?
oh yeah, so there are four hometowns, right? So fantasy suites are 3 people, and so hometowns, it's four of them. So there are 4 people that you go to their houses and meet their families and stuff, and then ask, well, some people ask for permission to marry them. So it's like, but you're dating 3 other people. Why are you asking for my daughter's hand in marriage, dude? Like, it's
Yeah.
weird. I think it's weird. And
It's very
because I'm
weird.
like, why not just say, hey, I really care about your daughter or whatever? Because of course, if you go to a dad and you're like, hey, do you have your permission to marry your daughter? There have been dads who've been like, no, because you haven't picked my daughter. Like,
Yeah.
when you pick her, if you pick her, you can ask me, but you can't ask me when you have like 3 other people that you're seeing at the same
Do I
time in the
have
same
your
serious
blessing to
way.
marry your daughter,
No, bitch.
possibly out of the other 5 people that I'm dating,
Yeah,
and
exactly. It's
maybe
just,
on live television?
yeah, I don't know. It's like you're being intimate, you're kissing, you're doing all the stuff with all these other people and falling in love with all of them in your own way, I guess, in this little isolated bubble, and then you pick one.
Okay, I will say this as a non-watcher.
Yeah.
I would have guessed that like at the very beginning they're not very intimate. You can't really count that because that's just like, oh, you're meeting
Yeah.
everyone. So that level
Yeah,
of
you're just
dating, I
meeting
wouldn't.
everyone. They have a couple one-on-one dates with people, maybe, but nothing. Most of it's like
Yeah,
group dates. Yeah.
but I would imagine near the end when you said it's down to what, 3 people, and you're
Yeah,
literally
four,
meeting
four,
the family,
four when
four
you're meet
people.
four of them when you're meeting the family. Yeah.
Yeah, I would think by then there's some level of you're in some sort of relationship with these 3 women.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can definitely see the parallels of just like, yeah, you're dating this one, you're dating this one, and you're both cool with it,
Hmm.
and you're both having like proper feelings for each other or whatever. I mean, even though it's still ultimately supposed to be monogamous at the end, so you're still doing this. So it's not like a proper non-monogamous relationship where
Yeah.
it's an ongoing thing. I mean, I'm sure there's people who have like a setup where it's like, okay, this is only going to go on for like a month, and then at the end, you're coming back home with
Yeah.
me or something. But
Yeah.
so
I don't know.
yeah, but I can definitely see just ba just breaking it down through your eyes, since I don't watch
Yeah.
my own eyes, because
I know.
that,
I know. I mean, but just to be clear, The Bachelor and The Bachelorette are not my favorite Bachelor franchise shows. My favorite show is Bachelor in Paradise because that shit
oh,
is
there's
like
more.
it. Yeah, to The Bachelor, there's The Bachelorette, there's Bachelor in Paradise, which is kind of like Love Island,
Oh,
but better. Well, not better. Love Island is amazing, but you know what I mean. If you kind of have an idea of what that show is about, it's kind of similar to that, only with Bachelor and Bachelorette contestants.
okay.
Beautiful
So,
people drunk on a beach in Mexico for like 4 to 6 weeks.
oh, this
I
oh,
mean, like,
this just sounds like something I would want to do. Can I? How do I sign
exactly.
up?
Right? So that's my dream. My dream is to be on The Bachelor just so I can get to Bachelor in Paradise.
Ah, oh,
That's where I'm at.
so you have to go through one
Yeah.
to get to the other.
Yeah, you have to go through one to get to the other.
What the
It's
hell
only
kind of
people who have been on the
video
show.
game
That's why I
shit
said
is
it's.
this?
Yeah, yeah,
Like earn
yeah.
the right?
You have to earn it. You have to
Wow.
go to the head bachelor mansion and deal with all this shit first, and then you can go to paradise if they like
Oh,
you enough. But yeah, so that's like the main. I mean, it's like one of the biggest dating shows on television. Like,
yeah.
because they have Bachelor
It's,
in Sweden, I think they have Bachelor in Europe, they have Bachelor in like Canada, they have Bachelor in Australia, they got Bachelor all over the place.
how old is this show?
This
Like I feel like I
show,
remember hearing about this for the first time. I was like a child
oh,
or at least a
my
teen.
mom watched this show. My mom watched the first season. I think it was the first season or the second season with Tristan and Ryan. Whatever one Tristan and Ryan was on, I remember that wedding. My mom and I watched the wedding together.
Totes
So that
remember.
would have been like we were kids, yeah. So that would have been definitely like almost 20 years ago, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah.
2002, first
Yeah,
episode
wow.
date.
Yeah, so definitely like a long time ago.
Hmm.
Yeah, almost 20 years ago. It's like 18 years, right? Am I mathing
Oh,
right?
yeah. What? Yeah, sure. Totes. Almost 18 years, yeah.
Um, yeah,
18
almost
years
18 years.
in about 3 months.
Yeah,
It was
okay.
March
Good.
2002. So yeah.
Go. My math is great. All
Go
right.
Max.
The next show on my reality TV show list is what I consider the best dating show ever.
Oh God. What could this
Flavor
possibly
of
be?
Love is genuinely the
Oh,
best dating show I've ever seen in
I
my
thought this
life.
could get any worse.
No, it's so great. You know it's great because it spawned the famous woman that is Tiffany Pollard, aka New York.
I just,
Like, you've seen the New York memes, they're the best.
I just, whenever I see them, I was like, why does this exist? Why does this
No,
whole thing exist? I'm sorry.
I
Keep
mean,
going.
Flavor Flav, of course, is this like rapper dude. So I was kind of like thinking, like, okay, well, is he really gonna pick one of them at the end? Like, he's probably gonna date a whole bunch of these girls, whatever. I think
Oh,
there were 2 or 3 seasons of Flavor of Love.
okay, help me out here. Help me out here. So, is it
Yeah,
that was there a prize for getting with him, or was getting in with him the prize?
getting with him is the prize.
So these women just
They
wanted to
wanted to
be
be
with
with Flavor Flav.
because they have trouble telling the time, and he always have a.
Exactly, and he wears clots. That's
I'm trying
exactly the
to
reason.
figure this one out in my head.
Oh, the best part about Flavor
Uh-huh.
of Love is when he there that other VH1 show where they all lived in the house, the celebrities live in that house. It wasn't Big Brother, but it was like a Big Brother-esque sort of show with all these
Okay.
celebrities. It was on VH1. And there he met Bridget Nielsen.
Hmm.
Bridget Nielsen, super famous Bridget Nielsen,
Yeah. How
former
did they?
bombshell. And then they got together. And then
What?
they had their own TV show.
Oh, good God.
I mean, he was madly in love with Bridget. I mean, like,
Oh, that's a
the
real
most,
life.
this is real life. This is the most
Oh
bizarre
no, sorry.
pairing, I think.
That's the name of the show. I looked it up.
Oh, the real life. Yeah,
The
that one.
surreal life, I
The
believe.
surreal life.
Looks
Right.
familiar. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
continue.
mean,
So he what? Maybe
he
there's
gets
something
with
to him we
Bridget
don't know.
Nielsen. I mean, I figure he must be a really great person. I think
I
that's
guess
really what it is. He must be a
he
really, really good person and like
he
really
seems
genuine or
nice.
something. He seems nice. I mean, it's just weird because, he is
Just
yeah. They had
so
their TV
weird.
show was called Strange Love, right? Their TV show was Strange Love
Ah, yes.
with
This is all coming back to me,
it's all
unfortunately.
coming back to you now. I don't know. I mean, it didn't make sense, but it also made sense. I don't know.
Oh boy.
I don't know.
You know what? I'm gonna try to keep the spirit of the show and just be like, we're not here to judge anyone's
We're not here to
lifestyle or
judge
who you
anyone.
love.
Yeah.
But I guess back to the flavor of love. So you're
Oh,
saying so
yeah.
this is basically The Bachelor but with weird people.
Yeah. Yeah. There's that girl Delicious who was singing, and then there's what was that? The white one that spit on New York. I can't remember her name. That was a big like thing. Because then this is also the kind of show that spawned Bad Girls Club, which is a whole separate line to go down,
Oh,
nothing to do with non-monogamy or poly. But yeah, and the
Jesus one.
reason why Flavor Flav and Bridget kept on, they ended up fighting, and they didn't stay together forever. But there was like all this jealousy and stuff because she had this other boyfriend before, this Italian dude.
Okay.
And so it was kind of like not really a thing. Like she was kind of dating both of them, sort of.
Oh, all right.
And then
I
she ended
guess.
up picking the Italian dude at the end.
Um, Boo. I guess I'm on Flavor Flav's side. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so here's the thing. There was the surreal life. Then
Yeah.
there was whatchamacallit? Uh Strange Love. And then there was Flavor of Love.
Yes.
So because of his heartbreak, he had to really,
Oh, I have to
dive
find
into
someone new.
reality. He had to
Oh,
find
okay.
someone new.
And
Yeah, so
that's what Flavor
that's
of
how
Love was.
Flavor
Okay,
of Love
sure.
happened. But I mean, Bridget kind of broke his heart, bro. I get it. I
I mean,
get
it happens. Yeah.
it. I get it. But yeah, so it's 3 seasons. Yeah. And then it's interesting. I just think it was interesting considering everything
I
like that
mean, I guess,
happened.
yeah. It just shows that these shows hit multiple demographics. You have The
Hit
Bachelor
multiple
for one set,
demographics.
then you've got
Yeah.
Flavor of Love over there,
Oh
the dark,
yeah.
shadowy place where Mufasa told us not to go.
Oh yeah. But your show, I think your show is the best one. You know that you
Uh,
watched it.
okay. I mean, look, if you were not even Jamaican, if you were anywhere in the Caribbean, and actually in America too, because they played this on World Star eventually. Teach
Yeah.
us pets. Fives Cartel,
World boss. World
World
boss.
Boss, Convicted Killer, and overall, you know, top accent dancehall of all time, had a show. very much resembling Flavor of Love, but not really because I don't think he was in the house that much, if
No,
I
he
remember
wasn't.
correctly.
I don't
It
know
was
what the hell
so
he
it was
was doing.
yeah, the whole show was a mess. Okay, I watched this mess, but it was a mess. Where
It
I
is
think
the
it was
second
like
best
this.
dating show ever created.
I guess you could call it that. All I remember is all these girls in the house. They were trying to impress him, but then not really. I don't know if they're trying to date him or be in a video. There was like this music video where they're all like dancing in it. In one
Yeah,
episode, I
and
remember like two girls were like
they had
making
the
out.
yeah, and they had the strippers, and they
Yeah,
had the it was going from all over the world. I remember you had like some girls from like Ukraine or some shit to
yeah,
be
yeah.
with
And she was
Vibes
very
Cartel.
random.
I mean, first of all, if you've ever seen Vibes Cartel, like a picture of him, like an older picture, not because this is when I think he did Just Stop Bleach, right?
Ah, yes, fresh,
Around the
fresh
time,
from the room.
fresh in cool, like in watching Face with the Cake Soap, right?
Yes. Hmm.
Um, so I mean, all the episodes are on YouTube, by the way. So if you guys definitely want to watch this, you absolutely should,
I
because
would
everybody knows
suggest
that
being under the influence of
there's
something.
no way that Vibes Cartel will only pick one of these women. There is literally no way,
Also, if
because
we're going along the whole non-monogamy thing, he had a wife or a girl,
he had
whoever
a
shot it
whole
is.
ass other person. He had a
I
whole
mean,
ass
look, we're
other
gonna go
person that
into
he was
music
dealing with.
and like I feel like when we do the music episode, Carter's gonna have his own section
Oh,
because he
he
had a
has
whole
to.
career of talking about other women. Meanwhile, shot is literally right there. But
We
yeah,
might we might have to do a whole special episode just for Vibes Cartel. Like,
but as far as this show is concerned, yeah, he was looking for another woman despite being married,
yeah.
and yeah, they were all coming from. I mean, I don't know. I can't even compare this to The Bachelor or even Flavor of Love because it was just so random and all over the place and not exactly a dating show. It was just a
hmm
mess, a live recorded
Yes.
mess.
I don't know, but it was great. It was great. I mean, yes, Cartel is in jail, but I'm sure the show would still. I'm sure if they tried to do a prison version of this, there'd be women flocking in from all over the world still
Oh
wanting
my
to love
God,
us.
Teacher's Pet Conjugal Visit Edition. I mean,
Oh my
I
God,
would watch it. I would
I would
hate to watch
watch
it, but
it.
I'd still watch it.
I would watch it.
I would sit there and
I
watch and be
would watch
like,
it.
why am I doing this to myself? And just keep
But,
watching it.
but
No,
wait,
no,
so is
no.
Cat is Cartel still married, or what was it with him and Gaza Slim anyway? This is a side thing. Like I mean,
Them,
because
he made us fuck everything. From what I understand.
that's true.
Because there were like pictures came out of them together, I believe, and yeah.
Yeah, there was another Gaza person he had after that, wasn't there? There was another
Gaza Slim and
Gaza
Gaza
girl.
Kim, are they the same person?
I don't know. Are they the
There's
same
Slim
person?
and Kim, or Vanessa Bling. No,
Vanessa Bling.
no,
Yeah,
Vanessa Bling
that's
is
it.
Gaza Slim.
Oh,
But
is
I
she?
think that, yeah, because introducing Vanessa Bling, something as Gaza Slim. Yeah,
Oh, okay. See, now I'm smart. I know things. But yeah, Teacher's Pet. You guys definitely should watch that. I am definitely going to put a link to the first episode in the show notes,
oh God.
and
And
I look forward to hearing your thoughts about it on the Twitters. Please
and
tweet
on
us
behalf of the
when you watch
show,
this.
we're sorry. Well, I'm
We're
sorry. I don't
not
think Jen is
sorry.
sorry.
We are not sorry. I need you to have alcohol at the ready. There is no street vibes rum to be had,
Yeah, no, that one died.
but
Mm.
but
Sponsored by Steve Abdrum, I believe,
yeah,
before it went off there.
you should definitely have some alcohol close at hand. But don't sip too many times, because then either you'll be really really drunk, or you'll have to spit it out because you'll be laughing so hard.
Yeah, let's call it that.
Okay. But then we have that one bisexual, reality
Oh,
dating show that
look,
actually
another
existed.
mess.
Yeah, but it was the only one that was bi. It was the only one that was
Yeah, I
bi.
mean
He
it's
was he
less
was
of a mess.
supposedly, yeah, less of a mess.
But
But
we're talking about what's the official name again? I just know her name.
a
Oh,
shot of love with Tila Tequila.
ah yes, Tila Tequila, the
Yeah.
only remnant of MySpace that's still. I think she's still around today.
Well, we don't really want her to be around. I'll explain why later, but
Oh dear.
yeah. But yeah, she was like a MySpace model, Playboy model thing, and it is the first, and I think still the only openly bi reality dating show. It's only on for 2 seasons, uh, which I think was still 2 seasons too many. But what do I
Oh yes.
know?
Yeah, I
um,
remember.
yeah, it's like 50, yeah, 30 to 32 people, but half of them were men, half of them. So half were like straight men, and the other half were like lesbians, I think. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
supposed to be lesbians, and so they were competing for her heart. So, I mean, in my dream scenario, if I had a show where I was on a dating show, I would just have groups of people because, I'm pan, so it doesn't have to be like straight men and lesbians or whatever. And also, I would just have everybody.
So
And
so
then
there's
I'd have
something big to select from.
a smorgasbord, and then
There you go.
I can pick the peoples.
Yeah.
But
So would it really be would it really be a dating show? Because
it is a
generally they
dating
come
show.
down no, but they generally come down to one person. You'd be like
Well,
handing
in
out
this instance,
bouquets
they're
instead
gonna
of
have to
one
come down
rose.
to two or three, okay? Because
Okay.
I don't think I can pick just one.
Yeah, I was
But it's
like,
okay.
yeah,
She picked
we
just
we
one.
all win.
She picked one. So I think she picked the guy the first time, and then that didn't work out for whatever reason. And then they did the second season, and she
Because
picked a
how could it
girl,
work
and the
out?
girl dumped her. The girl was
Oh,
like, I wasn't ready to be with a woman. And I'm just like, sis, aren't you supposed to be a lesbian? I don't get it.
clearly
This is
not.
the whole point of the goddamn show. Like, aren't you supposed to?
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, but what happened to Tila Tequila, sadly, is she's apparently a Trump supporter,
Oh,
and
jeez.
she also hates Jewish people.
What?
And yeah, she
What?
got kicked off of Celebrity Big Brother for some posts that she made that were anti-Jewish. And this is still up until like 2016. She was still like doing stuff
Oh,
like
oh
that.
dear.
And then it came out that she wasn't even really bisexual. Like
What?
she was just faking it for the show.
I mean, that is a thing
And,
people do, but yeah.
yeah, and she has kids now. So, and she's like an artist or something, and I think she got deleted off of Twitter or something.
Oh, wait, so that means she's literally like those girls that make out with other girls for attention in a club,
Yep.
but
Only
like
it was
on
for
a
a whole
TV
TV
scale.
show.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
It was for a whole ass TV show.
gotta respect the
Uh,
hustle, even though she's a terrible person.
yeah. Oh, we should have like a poly, like CNM like dating show. Like, so it'll
Oh
be
yeah,
like,
wait.
the husband and the wife like picking, like a third or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I had this idea a long time ago. It's like, yo, it's
Yeah.
gonna be called the unicorn.
All
Yeah,
the
meet the
unicorns.
couple, and then
Yeah.
you're gonna choose your unicorn. Can give out a sparkly horn. That's the rose.
Please do not. Please do not give these women sparkly horns. It doesn't fit
That's,
everyone. You
I
should give
mean,
them a unicorn vibrator.
oh, no, okay, there. Actually,
Yeah.
you know what?
So if
Okay.
you get it sponsored by the right sex toy company, write this down, dude. You should be writing this
Oh,
down.
I'm
This is a
sorry.
great
Yes,
idea.
vibrator. So it's writing this down.
Vibrator. Give them a vibrator like a unicorn butt plug or something. That'd be special.
Speaking of which, if you are a sex toy company and would like to sponsor us, we are now open for sponsorships.
Now open for sponsorships, especially if you make unicorn stuff for our reality dating show, which we're
Yeah.
gonna call
So,
the unicorn.
yeah, working on it.
Um,
Work in progress.
Working on it. Work
Copyright
in
20,
progress.
copyright 2019, Monogamish pod. Yeah, so don't say
Yeah,
that.
it'll come
That's
out in
legally
2022.
binding. We have lawyers.
Yeah, we have lawyers and stuff.
Yeah.
We also have doctors.
Yeah, totes.
But okay, so we talked about the funny side of
Yeah.
reality dating shows, and now we should talk about reality shows that are actually about polyamory and non-monogamy. I think we can dive into that, right?
Yeah.
Finally, I
Okay,
guess.
fine. I'm more open to this, I guess. Because at least these are
Yeah.
like actually about polyamory, kind of.
Yeah, and not about my weird vanity project believing that reality dating shows are a version of non-monogamy. But yeah, on we go.
Where are we at? All right. So I believe there is one show actually that's called Straight Up Polyamory,
Yeah, married and
Married and
dating.
Dating, which is
I,
should be my relationship status on Facebook, but
yeah,
I don't think that's
should
an
be.
option yet. That's
I
discrimination,
don't think
Facebook.
so either. It is discrimination. You guys should fix that.
Yeah. But it's Zuckerberg. We're not gonna get that. But yes, what is this show? Have you watched it?
I did watch it actually. I watched it a couple of years ago. It was only 2 seasons. I know I watch a lot of TV. I
Yeah.
also read a lot of books. Just like get over it, guys. Just get over it.
So
But yeah, I
how
watched
good a
it.
representation is it, do you think?
Oh, I mean, at the time, I guess it would have been pretty okay-ish, but there were so many shitty relationships on that show. Like there are so many shitty relationships. I think
I see.
the main they had like a main couple like in season 1, and it was kind of like I don't remember where it was set. It was in like Portland, Oregon or something. I don't remember. It was somewhere.
Hmm.
And or like it was just somewhere in California. Oh, fucking fine now. But yeah, so they kind of had like a
So a
polyam
set of
like
couples.
group.
Hmm.
Yes, they had a polyam group, and so it was like this married couple, and then they invited their married couple partners to move in like to their house with them, but they were living like in kind of like guest house with that kind of like privacy stuff, right? So
Oh,
they had that. Yeah, so these two couples were living together, and then the second couple, the wife started like dating. She had like a couple boyfriends on the side, and the husband didn't really have anybody. And then there was this other
it happens.
couple that married. They got I met so they're married to each other in some kind of like civil ceremony. It was a bunch of like different stuff. So season one was more focused on the original couple because they had like some kind of sex party or whatever, and well, not like
Mm.
a sex party, a gathering. Sorry, a gathering where people were able to meet and connect, and it also happened to devolve into an orgy.
Oh, oh, now I'm interested.
Yeah, now you're interested, right? But it was also very white. It was a very, very
Oh,
white
I
show,
mean,
as these shows are wont to be. It is very
yeah,
white. You
just you
don't
can't get
find
around that
very
sometimes.
many people of color talking about this. So season one was okay. I mean, it was weird. Apparently, one of the guys I think got arrested or something
Oh,
because he was like
oh
a
no.
rapist or whatever.
Oh,
I don't
oh.
know.
Well, that took a
It was
dark turn.
it was a lot of stuff. Yeah, I'd have to like look into that somewhere. I remember there was some controversy surrounding a couple of the people. The second season, you had this kind of I don't remember what she was kind of like Pacific Islander or like Hawaiian looking or I know it sounds bad to say that,
Hmm.
but the second
Yeah.
season you had this girl that reminded me of Sammy from Jersey Shore.
Oh
She was
dear.
like a professional like instructor, like pole dancer. Yeah, professional like pole dancer or something. And you had her husband who owned a gym, and then the girlfriend who lived with them, she was like the receptionist or the manager of the gym. So it
Oh,
actually ended up being a horrible thing
yeah.
because the
That's a bunch
husband
of
was
work
spending all
stuff.
his time with the girlfriend because they
Ah.
worked together, and the wife was getting left out because she had her own thing. Um,
I mean, mixing dating and work is already a problem.
it's already a bad idea. But there's a lot of stuff. I mean, and then the wife ended up cheating on him, or cheating on them, I guess you could say, because she was their girlfriend, cheating on
Yeah.
them,
Well,
because
mm,
of how isolated and alone she felt in her own fucking marriage and her own relationship. Um, because it appeared to me like they weren't taking the wife seriously. They were just so caught up in their own thing. Like they would cook together, they'd walk the dog together. Like literally, the wife would be outside in the pool hanging out instead of being like, "Hey, let's go hang out with the wife." They'd be in the kitchen like canoodling.
so this just goes back to previous episodes where we talk about, rules and thinking about your partner and jealousy and all of those
Boundaries
things.
and
Yeah.
jealousy and just all this stuff. I mean, just because you have another partner means you get to ignore the one you already have.
No.
Like you guys are supposed to be in this thing, especially in that one. It's like supposed to be a throuple. You're supposed to be in this together.
Yeah.
This person's supposed to be dating both of you. So we expect some sort of consideration and conversation and whatever, but it was just not. It was it. As I said, it was like it was a real life sort of representation,
I
but
guess, but it's
also
like the worst version of it.
the worst version that I could think of like a reality show about it.
Yeah. So if you're gonna watch this
Um,
one, I would say, I guess,
just watch it with
use
eyes
this as
open.
a
Yeah.
what not to do.
Yeah, go in with your eyes open. Don't really kind of expect it to be like a perfect
Yeah.
relationship setup.
I don't.
It's
Where'd you watch it? Was it on Netflix?
it was on Showtime. It was on
Oh,
Showtime, and
so I guess you probably need
that's
a.
when I had yeah, you need a Showtime account, or you pay for the Showtime attachment on Amazon Prime or whatever. But
Look
yeah,
up and
I
this
actually
pay
had
for it.
Showtime on my cable at the time, and so we were just able to log in and watch it. But yeah, it is not as easily accessible. What I will say though, I remember. Do you remember talking about the two couples at first and moving to the other person's house? So the second couple, the wife with the side boyfriend, she ended up leaving her husband for the side man.
Oh,
I guess because she didn't want to be non-monogamous anymore. So instead of saying to her husband like, "Hey, I don't want to be non-monogamous anymore," she just said she didn't want to be with him on top of all of that and left
damn!
him for the boyfriend
Don't you
and
hate
was
it when that
monogamous with the
happens?
boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was weird. But yeah, we'll move on to the next one, which actually has a black couple in it.
Hey, we do exist.
They do exist, but they're hoteps.
Oh God.
Uh,
Uh,
they live in Atlanta,
you win
but they're
some, you lose some.
hoteps.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's Seeking Sister Wife, which is like a, I guess this is kind of like a dating show, but not really. It's like a
So
reality
they,
show
so they
where
were a
they
couple looking
also,
for someone else.
yeah, they're a couple looking for someone else. So they're married, they have two kids or three kids or something, and they were looking for a girlfriend.
Okay.
So in the first season, they met this flight attendant girl. I'm only talking about the black couple on the show. The other
Oh, so there's more,
couples
but you
are
just give
like
birth, I guess.
they're
So.
Mormons and there's like whatever. Yeah, they're Mormons from Utah. We're not talking about them. We're talking about the one set of black people. Because like I
Mm.
said, none of these shows. I mean, Flavor Flav is the only like really black reality show we have on this list, and Teacher's Pet, obviously. But everything else is mostly white. I mean, Tequila is like Vietnamese or something, but you know,
Yeah.
it was also mostly white people on the show.
It.
Um, but yeah, the back couple are Hoteps, and the husband really, really pissed me off in the first season. So I don't think I've really paid attention much to it since that, because they picked this woman who was like a flight attendant or whatever. They flew her in because they've been talking to her online because they've been, communicating online with people. Talked to her online. She flew into Atlanta to meet them. And, the wife and the husband have rules. So it wasn't going to be like a throuple. It was literally going to be like a sister wife setup. So
Oh,
he
so
would have two
she's.
wives.
Oh,
She's his wife, or like she would
one
be
of
his girlfriend,
those.
and
Okay.
nothing to do with the wife. So the wife is looking for more like a camaraderie sort of thing as opposed to a romantic thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just.
So they, yeah.
I
So
mean, that's
they
one
had
of
had
the.
like couples and stuff before and whatever. So this is on TLC. This came out on TLC.
Oh yeah.
So you should still be able to find it on TLC.
I think it's. I see. I just looked it up, and it's also available on Amazon Prime. At least season 1 is. So
Yeah.
if you want to watch it, yeah.
Oh, is it for free on Amazon Prime for real? Or you have to pay for it?
Yes, or you have to
Oh,
buy. You can buy the episodes or the season.
oh yeah, no, we don't want to pay enough for nothing. You guys
Yeah.
look for it the way that you look for everything else. But yeah, it was on TLC. So we do this, and so the husband and the wife they meet up with the girl. This is when the wife was pregnant too, and so they have rules, I guess, about how they do intimacy in this sort of dating setting, which makes sense. Everything needs
All
rules,
right. I
right?
mean, there's something
As a
to do,
couple, you agree on rules and things that appeal to you.
as you may
And
have heard.
so the husband,
So would you
yeah,
previous to this?
the husband and the flight attendant girl, they go out on this date, like a dinner date. And so he's supposed to, like, of course, the cameras film that, whatever, and they're really vibing with each other, so you can tell it's like a good connection. And the wife doesn't hate her, so it seems to be going okay. And
Mm.
apparently, after the cameras like turned off and he dropped her back at her hotel, he snuck back to the freaking hotel behind the wife's back and had sex with her.
Huh. Okay.
And that's like a big no-no for the rules. One, the sneaking around, and two, they're not supposed to be intimate until they've actually come to an agreement on whether or not they both want this person.
All right.
So it
Yeah.
turns into this huge like drama. Well, I think the wife was handling it way better than I would because I probably would have shot him.
Oh, makes a note.
but yeah, I mean, like, don't lie to me. Don't sneak around. Don't do that. And
Well,
so
at least that relates to our previous episode about rules and cheating.
yeah,
So
rules and
one, that's
cheating.
breaking
Like
the rules,
it,
and two, that's definitely
I consider
cheating.
this I consider this cheating. And
Yeah.
so the wife meets up with the girl, and the two of them meet up with the girl the next day. And so the wife is kind of sitting there and giving the girl the opportunity to talk about what happened. So she's like, "Oh, how was your date? What did you guys do?" It was like, "Oh yeah, we just went to dinner, and then I went back to my hotel. That's it."
Mm.
And the wife was like immediately turned off, of course, because she's like, "I've sat there," and she pretty much lied straight to my face.
Yeah.
Because even if she didn't know what the rule is, it is still something that she should have mentioned. You know what I mean?
Very not okay.
And
Yeah.
give him the opportunity. So yeah, obviously that relationship didn't work out. And of course they've tried with other people since that, I'm sure. But that really just turned me off of the entire, like their entire relationship, because I think the dude's a piece of shit.
Yes,
That's
sounds
really
like it.
I think he's a piece of shit. And that's that. But if you want to watch a reality show that's not really about dating, but also kind of about dating, then Seeking Sister Wife is
So
the
it's
thing.
a dating show, but not like a competition dating show, from what I
Yeah,
gather.
no, it's just kind of like we're dating people on camera, hoping they fit into our lives, sort of thing.
All right. Sounds kind of interesting, but the concept sounds interesting, but the people sound terrible.
Yeah, like I said, I think the husband is just, and that's just the black couple. Like I said, the white couples, they have a different sort of relationship, I'm sure. But
Yeah, I
I just
guess
think that
if we
that
gotta
guy
pay
is
attention to
shitty.
them.
And it's just
Yeah.
shitty. All right.
All right. Now, see,
What's the next one we have on our list?
when you said Seeking Sister Wife, I was worried because I thought you were something was gonna be more like this show called Sister Wives, which my issue is not with the show. My issue is just with this version of non-monogamy. I mean, we say we don't judge anyone and we don't want to, like having issues with anybody else's version of a relationship. But as far as like
Hmm.
non-monogamy goes and polyamory, this is like my least favorite version.
Oh, Mormons.
Yeah, I mean, nothing against the religion, but just this
Yeah.
practice of just like, okay, you have the wife, and then it's not her actual, is it her actual sisters
No,
generally?
they're not actual sisters, I don't think.
But yeah,
No, they're just
but they're all
wives.
married
Yeah.
to him, and then it's like, I don't know, it just seems very controlling, and like it's almost like he owns them in a weird way because they all kind of serve him.
Yeah.
That seems to
I
be the
I I
case.
mean, I think it's also weird. But of course, these shows only really became like super popular in the wake of Big Love,
Mm,
which was that TV
that's
show
him.
on HBO, which we'll also talk about in the next episode,
Ah,
but
yes.
where we talk about TV some more. But yeah, Big Love was about the guy who had three wives, and he had the wife he'd been married to forever. Then he had a second wife who was a bit more conservative, and then he had a third wife who was like a young, fresh thing. And it's kind of like a similar thing, or you have the wife you've had forever, then
Yeah.
another wife, and then another wife. Uh, I don't know.
Yeah. My only issue with shows like this is that since because
Mhm.
they're so popular, when people think polyamory or just non-monogamy in general, they're gonna go straight, oh, you're like them. And you gotta
Yeah,
be like, no, no, not like that. For the love of God, not like that.
yeah, and I can get that. It can be it's hard. It's not as hard for me
Mm.
because I am currently single, of course, and
Yeah,
I'm
but still, somebody's
practicing
like, oh, you're a
polyam as
sister
a
wife.
single person. But yeah, I mean, people can say that, and I'll be like, well, I don't see no ring on my finger. Clearly, my husband is not doing it right.
Hmm.
But
Well, that for the record, that is not right. The way that they're doing it, no.
yeah.
But yeah, but
I just think it's interesting. I mean, and because I mean, I think also in Islam, you're allowed to have multiple wives as well. There are different religions where you're allowed to have multiple wives, but of
mhm.
course there are rules that usually go with this. And I've heard, I cannot say for sure as I am not a Muslim, but I have heard that yes, you may have multiple wives, but they must all be treated and taken care of equally. So
Oh yeah, I think I've
that
seen
is
that
what
verse.
someone explained to me. So it's like if you have three wives and you buy wife number one a brand new car, then wives number two and three must also get a car of equal value.
Well, at least that's nice for the wives.
Yeah,
There's some
I've
solace in
heard,
it.
like I said, I don't know if it's
We
true
don't,
or
yeah,
not.
don't fact check
Because
us.
I said, d- you
We,
can, but you can also
yeah, we
tell
don't.
me if
Yeah,
I'm wrong or not. I
well,
don't
we've already
mind.
said we're not
I like
experts,
knowing.
so
Yeah,
we're not expecting
I
to know
like
everything.
knowing. But I mean, but that's more like what's that word? Polygamy. It's not
Yeah,
really polyamory because the wives
yeah.
themselves are not allowed to have other partners.
No,
It's
of
very
course not. Why would
male
they?
centered and male focused.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't know a single Mormon woman who can go out there and have three husbands. It's not a thing.
Definitely not.
Yeah, and I mean,
Unfortunately.
and bigamy is still illegal, and polygamy is still mostly illegal in many countries and states.
Yeah, at the very least for the
But yeah,
married.
yeah, it's very very difficult to relate to these people. These people
Definitely.
meaning people who are polygamists, as
Yeah,
opposed to people who practice polyamory.
yeah. Full
For me
consensual
personally,
non-monogamy. Me,
yeah,
me too. Definitely
yeah,
me too.
it's difficult for me to relate to them. So I mean I don't know that I at this stage in my life currently would be willing to move in with a couple and join with a husband in that way. Because for me, being who I am, I don't want to just be in a relationship with one of you. I think that that's kind of weird to me. If you're entering a relationship with another couple or with married people, I expect to be able to, and in this way, I expect to be able to date both of you and love both of you in my own way. And so, but that's as an outsider coming into a relationship.
I mean,
If,
there are situations where probably there's a couple, and only
yeah,
I can see where like one man is dating both of them,
yeah,
but then
yeah.
it would also be have to be open on the other side.
Yeah, exactly. And so I don't believe in entering relationships where it's only one thing. I believe that there should be some kind of equity. So it shouldn't just be I'm dating the dude or I'm in this because he wants threesomes. There
Mm,
should be an option for the wife to go out and explore or the other the other partner to go out and explore whatever they need to explore also, which is
I get
why
it.
I have issues with the rules that are only one-sided.
Yeah. So, so we're not necessarily, I guess. I mean, you can still watch the show just to see what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not recommending it. I mean, I don't. Are you recommending it?
No.
But it's
Why would I why would I recommend a show about Mormons? No
oh
offense to
yeah.
Mormons, but why would I do that?
I mean, hey, if you're curious, you can check it out on TLC. If you want
Yeah,
something better to
if
watch
you're
about Mormons, go watch Book of Mormon.
oh, Book of Mormon. Love a good musical. Anyway,
Yeah, but
um, but yeah, there is another like reality TV show thing I think we should talk about, which has nothing to do with dating and relationships, and it's called Real Sex. It used to
oh,
air on HBO when we were kids,
oh,
of
it's got a
course.
flashback to
And
being like a teenager or yeah, teenager. I
yeah,
don't even know. Just being up way
yeah,
too late, which the HBO, which we shouldn't have been watching, and seeing
yeah.
those people doing weird stuff on TV.
Oh,
Not
and
the polyamorous, but
Skinamax.
just
Don't
like,
forget Skinamax.
oh, of course. But let's not even go there. But
Yeah, yeah.
real
Real sex
real sex was
wasn't about polyamory specifically. It was just
it was
about
about everything,
it was about sex. It was about everything,
everything
and it was
sex.
about education. I remember Real Sex was one of the first shows I realized about prostitutes. They had prostitutes on there, and they were talking about how they stay safe when they're with Johns, like condoms on the tongue, do you have oral stuff like that, or
Ah,
you do dude wearing a condom on. Yeah, and I thought it was very interesting. And I know they had an episode about polyamory. There was a workshop that I think came out in the 90s, so it would have been when I was way too young to be watching the show anyway.
definitely.
um, but yeah, it was very educational. You learned a lot on Real Sex about lots of things. So they had stuff about bondage. They had where's another one that I remember seeing? Was that about bondage? And then remember, this is also me going to my child mind. This is like 15 to 20 years ago, trying to remember things that I
Yeah,
saw on TV. Um,
or
but yeah,
formative.
it was just or formative years. But yeah, it was just very interesting, and I mean, because I think growing up in the society that we grew up in, which is a very Christian-based society, sex is kind of treated as like a deviant thing, and so you weren't allowed to know anything about sex. You weren't allowed to know anything about your body in a way. And so shows like this, I think, and I'm not talking about porn, I'm talking about documentary TV series like Real Sex, because that's what
Yeah,
it really was. Taught a lot of people in our generation by staying up too late and watching things we weren't supposed to watch
yeah, pretty much.
about sexual stuff. Because I mean, we could also talk about Skinamax and how it's not real porn because they never actually have sex, but we thought it
Yeah,
was
no, that's a
porn.
whole
Like,
other
or
thing.
else
Yeah,
it's the closest thing you can get to porn. Without watching a blue movie, that's the closest thing you could get.
yeah,
um,
we'll get into porn. Oh, don't worry, there's gonna be a porn episode.
it's gonna be a porn episode. But
But
yeah,
for a
I mean, it's just
fact,
like I think, yeah, these shows are interesting, just because they put certain aspects of life on display that you wouldn't normally see. So having dating shows or about with bisexual people was not a thing until like 2008. That's when The Shot at Love came out, I believe. And having these shows about polygamists and stuff is not a thing that happened until the 2000s. And so this is the first time that other people were seeing these things on TV as well.
yeah, and even though it still was kind of shown as like a bit more bizarre, is what they were trying to go for.
Hmm.
So none of these, so I'm not sure if any of the shows well, I guess maybe the polyamory, the Seeking Sister Wives,
Yeah.
are the closest we've gotten to like, okay, we're gonna try and show this as like not strange, as
Yeah.
like, oh, these are
Not
normal
strange.
people.
These are normal people. We're doing normal
Well,
things.
not
I
normal.
think. I think so.
The
Well,
people are weird. What they're
everyone.
doing is normal, but the people themselves seem pretty weird to
Yeah,
me.
people are weird. Yes, I think these shows are really great for that. It's kind of putting these quote unquote alternative lifestyles on display. And it's still disgusting that, polyamory is considered an alternative lifestyle. I think it's just normal.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
Yeah,
I don't know.
society. That's what it is.
Society. Is there anything else you can think of about reality dating TV shows or reality TV shows in general as it relates to non-monogamy that you would like to touch on? And I know this episode is mostly me talking because I watch
Yeah,
this
no.
quote unquote
Yeah,
shit.
this is a full on episode. I was just along for the ride.
You were
Funny enough,
props.
there is one show I forgot to mention. It's called Are You the One? This is kind of a guilty
Oh,
pleasure of
are
mine.
you the one? one,
it's a
yes.
terrible, terrible show, but I just can't not watch it. And it's like it's like any other reality show. They put a bunch of people in a house, and they're supposed to hook up and figure out who their true love is. So
Hmm.
it's kind of relevant because people do date and have sex with other people, and like so it ends up being kind of polyamorous, but not really because they don't really seem to be on because they don't want to date anyone but the one person they're supposed to be with. So I
Oh,
would say
okay,
just watch that one
okay.
as a guilty pleasure. But
Oh, are you the one as a guilty pleasure? Okay, and it's on
and it's kind
MTV,
of
right?
relevant. Yeah, it's an MTV show.
Okay. Well then, yeah, definitely. I'll
And
add. Are
actually,
you? Because I
their most
heard
recent
there was.
season
Yeah.
was a LGBT themed season. So they tried to have gay couple, well, gay. They're all single, so gay singles, non-binary, trans, and
Oh.
so on. So yeah, it's
Oh.
for at the very least, I would suggest watching the most recent one. Yeah,
Oh. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Something
yeah.
for
Look
the
at that.
kids.
Look at me showing you or introducing you to a reality show, or
I
at
know.
least an
I would
episode.
not have thought.
Me either.
I didn't always used to be into reality TV shows. That's a lie. I used to love Real World as a kid. I loved the hell out of Real World. Wasn't a Road Rules fan, but I was a Real World fan.
Yeah, I think
There
that's
wasn't
where
really
my
any poly in Real World. Yeah.
no, not really. I think that's when my dislike of reality show started. Just the whole concept of like, oh, this is what the show is, not for
Hmm.
me, and then I just stuck with that for the rest of my life,
Oh, but
even though I'm here
there
telling
are
you about shows that I
so many interesting things. I mean, they had gay people on Real World. They had people who were struggling with alcoholism. They had they explored a lot of topics in a way in this very weird space. Because of course, remember these people are still all strangers. This is before social media was even a thing, really. So
yeah.
this is like, can you imagine?
Hmm.
Can you
And now,
imagine?
yes, and just that one show, and now here we are, so many years later, with more of the same kind of shows that we can even count.
Yeah. I think that there are too many now, of course. And
Yeah,
everything is all fake now, because now it's people who have like the biggest Instagram followers and whatever.
yeah, but it's whatever.
Yeah.
But as far as being poly, I guess this is the best we can do for now. Until the unicorn comes out. Stay tuned.
Until
We're
the unicorn comes out,
gonna go
2022,
have
it's
some
coming out.
meetings. I'm gonna talk to some networks, and we'll see what we
Yeah.
can do. We'll
We'll
keep y'all
see what we
posted.
can do. We will keep you posted on the unicorn. Trademarked,
Yeah,
hashtag by
yeah.
Monogamish Pod
If the
at
show
Monogamish
doesn't come
Pod on
out, it's
Twitter. We
society
did
trying
that.
to keep us down. So yeah, it's not our
Society is
fault.
trying to keep us down,
You
and
know,
we need you guys to root for us and to vote for us and push for our show to be on your TV screens.
yeah, totes. But
Did
that's for
that
another
sound
time.
like forceful enough?
Totes,
That
definitely.
work?
I'm
Like
so
you think
convinced.
people believe me? Oh,
Yeah,
great, love it. Oh, winner.
look at that. We'll be on Shark Tank next season. Watch out.
All right, thanks so much for listening to us talk, or listening to me talk and Sham contribute every once in a while today.
Thanks for
You
listening to
know,
me reacting.
yeah. You can, of course, tweet us anything you want to talk about in this part of this conversation on Twitter at monogamishpod. You can check out our detailed show notes as usual, monogamishpod.wordpress.com. Yeah, we're pretty much almost everywhere at this point, or should be everywhere. I don't know. You can listen to us on your favorite podcast service, which people are now using Spotify a lot for. Surprise.
Yeah, look at
But
that.
I'm into it. Yeah, so Spotify, Anchor, we put the most recent episodes on SoundCloud. We do, what's that? Google Podcasts, Overcast. There are so
Yeah,
many
we're on the
casts, so
places. We're
many
on the
pod
places.
stuff.
Some places.
We're on the places. So just be sure to tune in and give us a listen. Again, I
Yeah.
am Jen,
Oh, I'm Sham, and
and
we're
we're
monogamous.
monogamous. Yeah, no, sorry, not even close.
Not even. Not even. We'll
One
get there.
day.